My marriage with Allison was never particularly good. My alcoholism was definitely a factor. As a result of the tragedy, my alcoholism got considerably worse and eventually spun out of control.
I left him because he's a drunk and a drug addict. Nothing changed since Lauren died. He's the same person he was the day before she died.
Shortly after the murder, Allison started making it extremely difficult for me to see the children. She was under the assumption that my drinking was something that would impact the children, and ultimately she stopped letting me see the children altogether.
About 6 months after Lauren died, I got a phone call from Nolan. He was crying and said that he was in the car with his dad, and his dad was swerving all over the place, and he kept threatening to run into other cars, saying that he was going to kill himself, that he can't live anymore without Lauren.
I think that story is something that she may have believed based on the fact that my kids thought I was driving crazy. I was definitely upset. I wasn't driving crazy, but I was crying. I've never threatened to hurt myself or anybody else.
As long as he continues the path he's on with the drinking, he's not fit to be a father. He's not fit to even be around his kids. I'm not exposing my kids to any more of that.
The last time I saw my children was about 8 or 9 months ago. The whole idea of not seeing my kids has been the constant fuel for this thing that drives my alcoholism.
I'm not the one that keeps him from his kids. It's his own lifestyle. It's his drinking. It's the violence, the threats, the manipulation.
I believe if I was able to have a continual relationship with my children, that I would have no problems containing my alcoholism.
Okay, John, you've been listening to the conversation so far. Let me begin as before, telling you I'm terribly, terribly sorry for your loss. I cannot even imagine, as a father, what it must feel like to have lost your child. Just dad to dad here, are you stable enough to be a guiding force in your children's life right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are you an active alcoholic right now?
Yes. But I wouldn't be if my children were in my life.
That tells me that you're not being honest with yourself. You don't get the children and then clean yourself up, because let me tell you, having been trained as a forensic psychologist, it is not a question of what comes first, the chicken or the egg. It is real clear. What comes first is you get yourself straight, you get yourself sober, you get yourself stable, and you earn the right to be in those children's life, and they deserve to have their dad in their life. When our AP was picking you up this morning at your hotel room, there was a half-empty bottle of whiskey in your hotel room this morning.
Yes, sir.
And you appeared to be intoxicated this morning.
Yes.
Are you trying to get along with your ex-wife?
There is zero communication there.
Well, it's not zero. You forwarded a text that said, the reality is she was a pathetic pig of a woman. Response, evil is out there. John, she got my daughter killed. Does Jamie know you puke after eating? Just curious, you'll always be gross. Pig, pig. My kids, they are going to know that mom wasn't the innocent victim that she plays like a fiddle. Just a nasty, ungrateful, pathetic excuse for a human being that got their sister killed. Were you sober when you wrote that?
No.
Do you believe that she got your baby killed?
I've never blamed Allison for any of that.